Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to Stretch the Sketch, where we are taking a sketch and either making it larger or smaller. We're using this sketch from the Hip Kit Club, and I am stretching it into a double page layout. I am just marking out where my photos are going to go because I'm going to do some mixed media using some Dylusions ink spray in Mushy Peas, which is what you're seeing there, fresh lime, which is the brighter color, and then some chopped pesto. Now, those were the colors I chose to use, but I didn't use all of them. I end up using some chopped pesto and testing it where I know the photos are going to be, but I think it's a little too dark. So then I pulled out some Lindy's Starburst sprays in Bells of Ireland Green, which actually has blue undertones in it, like some kind of turquoisey blues. And you're going to see the light will pick that up here in a bit. But I don't end up using the other Dylusions because the colors just didn't feel right. So I end up just with the Mushy Peas Dylusions and the Lindy's. And then I did pull out some Distress ink and some Catherine Pooler ink, using Mode Lawn Distress ink to go through this beautiful stencil from Sandy over at Scrapping Reflections. And then I'm also going to use some Catherine Pooler ink in Seafoam to go through a smaller stencil that is very similar to this one, but the leaves are a lot smaller. So I'm just kind of going with a tone-on-tone look. I wasn't really sure if I was going to go do the top portion. I thought I was going to kind of leave everything towards the bottom of the layout, but I do end up going back and using the top portion of the stencil as well to bring those leaves up further. And I really, really love how it looks. So this is a great way to add lots of texture to your layout, just going over your inks with or your sprays with additional ink, because it will just deepen the colors and the tones and you can still see all of the pattern. I think it looks really cool, so I'm really happy with the way that it came out. I will put links down below for the products that I'm using today if they are still available. I doubt that this little stencil is available any longer. It's been in my stash for a very, very long time, but I really like it, so I thought I would just add in another layer of leaves, but in a different color of green. So again, that green is called Seafoam from Catherine Pooler. So I'm happy with the way that that's looking so far. And then my photos are of the little guy I take care of at this park. We call it Dinosaur Park. It's got a name, but that's what we call it. And he loves the dinosaurs and likes to go and play on this park. And I had this little saying in my quotes for quite a while, and it says, you can see it's in my hand right there. It says, 1 minute you have an innocent infant, then suddenly, I don't know, without warning, you have a Toddlersaurus Rex. So yeah, I thought it was really cute, especially since he's looking through the T-Rex signage on the right-hand side there. I apologize, you don't get to see his face, mostly because of privacy purposes. Well, 100% because of privacy purposes. So I also pulled out these acrylic dinosaur bone pieces from MK's shop. I love these. They've been in my stash for a while, but I do believe she still has them in her shop, and I think they're fantastic. They are perfect for all dinosaur layouts. You can use them for all kinds of things, and I just love them. So I saved them for this layout, and I'm going to use a few of them on here. Now I will end up using them on a couple of them on a different layout because I don't use all of them here. But this is actually this is actually 2 packs because she has separate packs for different dinosaurs. So I have both, and I will link them down below. Okay, so I'm doing a sketchy line all the way around the outside of the layout. I'm not hitting the center line because I want my layout to look like it is one in the middle, but I am going around the outside with actually 3 sketchy lines. Normally I only do 2, but this time I did 3 because those circles that I did at the bottom of the photos were in the actual sketch that we were using. So I thought, since I did so many kind of circles there to make it look kind of messy, I would do extra sketchy lines around the outside to kind of tie it all together. Now, could I have gone and done neater lines for my circles and used a template or a bowl or a cup or something like that to do that? Sure, absolutely could have, but I've already got this messy look going on with the drippiness, and I think it looks fine. I just freehanded it, nothing super exact. Just wanted to kind of follow along the line of where the bottom of the photos were going to be, and wanted to make them join in the middle so it looked across the 2 pages, so it looked like it was one continuous design and not like I had 3 circles on one side and 4 circles on the other and they didn't join. So that was kind of my goal, and I think I've reached that goal for that. And I just used my Sharpie for that because I've figured the Sharpie's probably going to go over that mixed media the best. A Pitt pen would also work well if you have a Pitt pen in your stash. I'm not sure what other pens would work, but the Sharpie seemed to do just fine. And then I am using some rub-ons from 49 and Market, mostly in green. I had this pack of green rub-ons. Some of them have more, less green and just more of the text, like a green text, but not green splotches. Some of them had green splotches with black text or kind of a white, less transparent background with green text or black text. And so I'm just using those, and I use a lot of them, you guys. I use almost the whole pack, and that's totally okay with me. This is the kind of layout that I purposely buy these kind of things for. I think it looks great, and I love the added texture that it brings. Could I have gotten the same effect by using stamps? I could have gotten a very similar effect by using stamps, by using some black text or gray text or something like that. Stamps, text stamps with gray or black ink or even green ink. It would have worked as well, but I wouldn't get those splotches. I could have actually used the splotches from a stamp set as well because I do have splotchy stamps. But the rub-ons just make it really easy, and they're a lot of fun to use, and there's a lot of textures in there without as much of the work. So that was kind of one of the reasons that I used them, is because it's a lot less work than getting out all my stamps and hand making this, although you definitely could achieve that goal without purchasing any rub-ons. Now, apparently my paper wasn't 100% dry right there, and it just pulled the paper up, but I was able to stick it back down, and it wasn't a big deal. The rub-ons are very sticky, and they stay very well. If you've never used a 49 and Market rub-on, they are great quality, and they stick really easily, sometimes too easily. Sometimes they stick to each other if you do not get them with their backing paper right down, or if you accidentally set them down on the paper that you're trying to rub a portion on, the whole thing's going to stick. So yeah, I just got to be a little bit careful with that. So for a while, I thought this was going to be a very monochromatic layout. As you can see here, it looks like it's going to be very monochromatic, but I let it sit on my desk for a night because I had other things I had to accomplish, in life. And so when I came back to it, I kind of looked through a couple things that were just sitting on my desk, and I had this little piece that says eat, sleep, be rad, repeat, or something like that. I don't know. You're going to see it pop up here in just a bit. And it has orange and blue in it. And I thought, I really like this piece, and it's got the green in it as well, and the black. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and use this piece kind of as my title piece, since really that little black quote is not really a title, it's just a quote. So I thought I would use that piece as my title, and that led me to bringing out some more orange and blue. So you're going to see that here in just a bit. Once I get done with these rub-ons, and I know I'm showing you a lot of rub-on placement here. Maybe it would help you to know that you don't have to use an entire rub-on in one area. You can just use a portion of it. You don't even have to necessarily cut them apart. You can use a little bit here and a little bit there, and it's the imperfection of it is what kind of creates the layout, so you don't have to feel like you don't know where to put the entire rub-on. And then I always, if I'm doing a double page, I like things to span the middle. So this particular rub-on is spanning the middle. And then I'm just breaking it apart there with my tweezers, which are very sharp. So sharp that I actually cut my finger on them the other day. So yeah, that was fun. Uh, and it was more than a poke. It was like a 1-inch line of a laceration. Anyway, so here is where I've brought in the blue and the orange. I've used some carved pumpkin, some broken china, and some gathered twig. I don't really use a lot of the gathered twig. I guess I use some of it, but not a lot of it. To spray 2 little pieces of white paper. These are the 4.5 by 6.5 inch Hobby Lobby photo mats, and I just use them for little projects like this because I'm going to die cut some leaves out of them. This particular die was given to me, well, I purchased a bunch of dies from somebody at like a crafting yard sale type deal, so I don't know where it came from. But the dies that you see off to the right hand side, those are a Tim Holtz for Sizzix set, and I don't know if those are still available or not. If they are, again, I'll link them down below for you. But I'm going to go ahead and make a whole bunch of those. And yes, I could have made one paper orange and one paper blue, but I kind of like the mix of the 2 colors and having them be very imperfect so that some look a little more green, some look a little, because the blue and the orange when they mix kind of give you that weird brownish green. And then some of them are more blue heavy and some are more orange heavy. So that's kind of like by design that I didn't do 1 page blue and one page orange because I did not want them to be a solid color. So I'm going to go ahead and run all of those through. All of the insides of those leaves I'm going to run through on that little black piece of paper you see off to the right hand side. You'll see me do that. You're not going to see me assemble all of them just because it is a little bit of a time consuming process, as you probably know if you do any die cutting in your craft room. It just takes a little bit of time to put everything together. So I'm just going to show you a couple here. And I just followed along with the sleeve of the dies that shows you how they all look assembled and put them together as they are assembled. This is actually the first time I've used these. They've been in my stash for a very, very long time. And I've never, I don't know, I have a lot of leaf dies, so I don't know, maybe that's why I just haven't pulled them out. And plus they're a little bit more on the whimsical side, but usually the first time I use anything, I do it like the direction says, and after that I just, you know, kind of do my own thing. So in this particular case, they are assembled just as the packaging shows. Now, I'm not actually gluing everything down here, and you're not going to see me glue it down because I did the gluing off camera because it's again a time-consuming process, and the video was already getting to be a little bit on the long side. But you're seeing me place the leaves so that I've got a little bit of each color in each cluster here, and some are tucked behind those big black leaves and some are on top of the big black leaves, and just wanted those to show. So here I've gone ahead and glued everything down. I've added a couple of labels, and I added a couple extra dinosaurs. That's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I want to remind you there are a bunch of people playing along with Stretch to Sketch using this same sketch in some other type of manner. Maybe a double page, maybe smaller, but go and check them out and give them a little bit of love. The playlist is down below for this. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this one, I would really love for you to hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button as well. And come back and join me for another video, which will be coming up pretty soon this week, like tomorrow. So come and check that out. Thanks again for spending time with me, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.